child psychology is very complicated. And I went to band, right? And I had these kids in the band, like under me. They were like my children, these two twins, right? And they grew up in a Christian home. Their mom passed away, just dad in their house. Dad trying to do the best he could to raise them as Christian, but he berated them because they were a little feminine, and he berated them about dressing feminine, and they have gone through the most tormentful, mind boggling things, right, with their sexuality and not knowing. And I saw the progression in the years while they progressed through college, because they came like 3 years under me, so they were like my sons, right? And one stayed a male, right, and he's progressing now. He's back into Christianity. He's it's a journey, and mental health is so complicated. So that whole trans thing, it's a spirit, and it's very complicated. But you know what? So one of them is the male, still trying to get back into Christ and everything. The other one went straight trans, and I saw the progression. At first, he was like, "Oh, I'm just a boy," and I just like, man, and then it was. Let me just finish that. So it was a very crazy progression to watch in time, that he went all the way into trans, and now he's fully like, my name is the girl name now, only refer to me as. It's complicated, y'all, but you know the consistent line in that, they feel abandoned. And you know what a parent is supposed to do in that, even if they tried their best to keep them in a Christian role, and the child rebel from that, all you can do is love them, because abandoning them is going to make it worse. It's not going to make them come back to Christ. It's going to make them
no one said to abandon him though.
In certain ways. It's just something you cannot control.
I'm not trying to hear, and I'm not trying to save everybody.
But all I'm saying is, if your child is doing what they're going to do,
the father should
and they're
abandon
already
him.
there, and you want to show them love, that's okay. That's Christ-like to show them love. Everything Freddie said, I agree with. I don't know what y'all like. Y'all don't even have kids. But I'm telling you, if your kid rebels against you and doesn't do what you say to do, the answer is not to abandon them and seclude them because they're not listening to you. But
no one said you should abandon him. Trigger, are you familiar with detransitioners? There are dozens of detransitioners that have came back to their original gender, and a lot of those people, said they love their family, did not reinforce that mental delusion. They loved that their family did not reinforce that mental delusion, and that helped them come back to be a detransitioner. So
that don't make them straight though, because they detransition and they don't dress like
some. Okay, I've actually seen multiple people that were gay and they have left that lifestyle. They accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior. That's what they said. I'm not going to say that they're gay or not. If they said that they're no longer gay, I'm gonna go with that. But most of them said that they appreciated that their family did not reinforce that negative behavior. The family still loved them. The family still loved them. But they did not support that lifestyle, and they were glad that they did.
Just to be clear, real quick.
But the father should. Go ahead, Mont.
Can I respond to
just
Kelly?
To be clear, how many?
You can respond after Mont.
Just to be clear, how many people on here, if a guy is gay and then he goes straight, how many of y'all accept that?
Hell no.
Wait, today?
Kelly accepts that he's straight now.
I accept it 100%.
What's the relationship?
I accept it 100%.
You accept what?
I believe that the Lord can do anything. That's what I believe. I believe if those people said that they found Christ and Christ led them out of that lifestyle, who am I to say that they're lying? Who am I to say?
But people are not as forgiving is the point of what Mont's saying. People don't forgive as easily like that. And when you tell someone, yes, I used to be gay, but I'm no longer gay now, a lot of women are heading for the hills.
Jeremiah, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about.
Kelly, real quick. Kelly, real quick.
No, that's what that's what Mont just said. That's exactly right.
Hold on. We're gonna have to give each other grace on the panel and allow for people to be able to get their stuff off. It's all right. We're gonna be here for a minute. Y'all can get y'all stuff off. Go ahead,
real quick, Kelly. I like your position. So would you date a man? Would you marry a man who used to be gay and is now straight?
No, I wouldn't.
So you're not telling the truth. You're not being honest.
I'm saying I would not do it. I did not say that I don't believe that man is no longer gay. I didn't say that.
You don't believe that.
Hold on. Just because somebody got a preference does not mean that they're required to that they can't give somebody grace or say, listen, I accept that, but that don't necessarily mean that you're for that person.
Exactly.
No,
I understand what you're saying. However, I don't believe that she thinks that man is genuinely straight.
Doesn't mean it doesn't matter if you believe it or not.
Yeah, just my position. That's all.
Don't matter if you believe it or not.
I'm just calling that.
Just because, listen, if a chick is a former prostitute, but then she turned her life over to God and said, you know what, I don't want to be for the streets no more. And it doesn't even mean that she's never going to sin anymore. But if she give her life over to God, or she say I'm different or I'm rocking differently, cool. That's between her and God. That don't mean that I'm a marry her.
Exactly. Thank you, Anton.
It's a lot of religious men that would.
Cool, and that's cool.
And there's a lot of women that would marry a person.
Listen, your walk with God is ultimately between you and God. But when you put this type of stuff out on the internet for conversation, I think that it warrants us to say yay or nay. We got to take a position. And people that try to justify it, I don't agree with them. That's all we saying.
So what I'm gonna say, Kelly, I do agree. You don't have to want to yourself, but you can actually believe that God can bring somebody out of that lifestyle. Because I also believe that. I personally probably would if that opportunity presented itself. Because I saw it in real time. I saw this man at my church. He had a gay lifestyle. He was fully delivered, fully preaching the word of God. And yes, I was attracted to him, but he found another wife, and they're happily married today. But what I'm saying is that I've studied this because I'm very interested in mental health. So I've studied the transgender, and I have seen those people in Christ who came out of that lifestyle, right? And most of the ones I've heard from have not said that their family rejecting them helped them. They said that their family rejected them, pushed them further into the lifestyle, and what saved them were people in the church and people that got introduced
they don't
to
care
them, that loved them regardless of their position, is what brought them out of that lifestyle.
But trigger.
So I'm not having the child. Pushing them away is not helping them get out of that lifestyle.
I agree with that. I agree.
If y'all think that all of these people is running around
that lifestyle, that's all I'm saying.
If y'all believe that all of these people in every single situation, in every different scenario, she know a guy. In every single scenario, she's been there. In every single scenario, she's mentored them. If y'all believe this shit, bro.
I've seen a lot.
If y'all believe this shit, bro, then I got a bridge to sell you. Real talk. Because I don't listen, just because somebody tell a story and they got all of the different, I don't believe that. You think that I believe that people was over there telling them her every single situation. First, the trans twins came through and it was telling them all of her business. Now she knows some people that was in church delivered. Listen, bullshit. I call cap on every single thing that I'm hearing right now from her all day long.
So you are telling me
that I don't think a parent should throw their child out in the wind or anything like that. I'm saying the parents, they did not stamp that lifestyle. They still love their child, but the child couldn't cross-dress in the house. You know what I'm saying? They didn't reinforce that. Like if they said, oh, I want to be called Janet and his name was Justin, the parents said, oh no, I'm still gonna call you Justin. They still love them, but they didn't reinforce that lifestyle. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying
trigger weight, because we gotta get Gwendolyn in there. Okay. One, if my daddy knew any of us was gay, he would have cut us off and threw us out the house. So it does happen. Some cultures don't believe in that gay shit. That's just what it is.
Definitely happens.
You can't do your change. You can't wear dresses until you're out the house. Gwendolyn, go ahead. Your mic is a little low. You gotta yell a little bit.
How about now?
Good. You're good.
That's what we've been doing. Go ahead, you guys.
Go ahead.
What the father should have sat down and said, son, I love you, but I'm not going to condone this behavior. That's what he should have said. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to show up, but I love you. But also, it also seems that he wasn't there from the beginning for him to even be acting like this. Because it's a trickle-down effect.
Have you ever dealt with a woman before?
Say that again?
Have you ever dealt with women before you got married? Because I know you're married for a while.
Who are you talking to?
He's asking you, are you heterosexual? Or were you always
To
heterosexual?
Gwendolyn.
Yes, I'm married to a man. Why?
No, but have you ever dealt with women before?
No.
So okay, the suit, like the uniform kind of. My point was, y'all actually don't care about homosexuality at all. Because if I presented a good wife to Mount that cooks well, cleans well, does everything right, but she had 2 bodies on college that were women because she was feeling lonely and all that shit, y'all don't give a fuck about that. Homosexual women never get no consequences for being by their whole life or being by curious. Y'all cuff them, y'all date them, y'all do business with them. That's what you do.
It's totally different when you're a man.
You have a problem. You have a problem once again. You have a problem once again with men, not women. And if you actually believe in redemption, you should believe that Trigger will bring a better week next week because she knows better now. That's all.
You know what,
you need to be consistent. Just go ahead and be consistent about it.
There's a higher standard when it comes to men, and there always will be.
So why don't you ask Mount? So why don't Mount? Would you not date the perfect woman that had 1 female body before 10 years ago?
I don't care if she got 3, 4, 5 female bodies, but I ain't.
So you don't care about? Okay, so you are okay with homosexuality, right?
I don't care what people do. Like, but I make gay jokes to men. I make gay jokes to studs too.
No, it's fine.
But I don't care what people do.
Do you care like
you don't care people do? Wait, what's going on?
I'm going to let it pass that.
Women are not the same.
I'm saying I don't care what other people do.
I care what people do. This is crazy.
And
that's what I'm saying. So like, where's the standard coming from? Because y'all are trying to say the love isn't correction. The love is sitting them down gently and, saying these things. Love is not always accepting out of the name of you loving that person. And it's actually very frustrating to hear the lack of standards, because it's like, what are we really doing? So we can't have conversations or opinions, whether it's positive or negative, because that's judgment no matter what. If you abandon your child because they didn't stick to the godly standards that you set, you're wrong for that. But you gotta say it in love enough so that they still know you love them. Like, what are we really doing?
Cameron, that's why do you keep doing this, Cameron? Think about it. Let's be consistent. This motherfucker is gay. We don't condone him. We don't fuck with him. We don't like him. Cameron, do you have any female friend that had bisexual experience before, lesbians or kissed women, smack them on the ass when they're on the nightclub? Yeah, go get it, girl. Do you have any of these friends?
What does that have to do with setting a standard for your child?
The fact that you are condoning homosexuality,
no, I don't condone homosexuality.
So you don't have those type of girls?
I have no homosexual close friends or anything like that, because I think about the future, and I've literally had people ask me, so what if you had a child? Would you want your child around that person? And I said no. That is exactly why I don't have those friends, because how would I be to my friend and say, hey, you can't come over because I don't want you and your person in front of my child doing these things? That's wrong of me as a person. I just won't even engage.
Let me clarify that.
Because I'm consistent.
Gay women
is clarify. Anton and Mount. Is it fair to say that most of these women out there?
Wait. You jumping around from person to person.
No, I'm not. I want to engage with her.
You are. No, what you doing?
I want to engage with her.
No, fatty, what you doing?
Oh, we're going to do that again, Anton. Let's dance.
No, respectfully.
Okay, I got you.
Respectfully, you jump from person to person, and when it don't fit the narrative, because the point that you're trying to make don't hit, because they don't play along with whatever it is that you
was not the point.
So what do you mean? You just jump from
that was not the point.
Nope. You went from Gwen to Mont to Cam. Now you're going back to me and Mont.
No, it's because I want to actually show you what I'm talking about. Just because I'm explaining something doesn't mean I'm in favor of it, right? So my question to y'all both men is it fair to say that most women in 2025 are either full-blown bisexual or they're at least bi-curious? What? Is that fair to say? 50% of them probably are that type of lifestyle. Is that fair?
No, either you bisexual or like you can't say whether or not a woman is bi-curious, because then that would mean that you actually had a conversation with most women.
Kissing a woman in the mouth.
You can say, do you think that most women are bisexual? You can say that.
No, when I say
I
You can't add both because you're trying to put a safety net between your questions.
No. When I say bi-curious, meaning they kissed the woman before, they saw a woman and find her attractive, they grab their ass, they break their titties. They're bi-curious. They're not full-blown bisexual, or maybe it's intercourse.
I can't
with
answer
women.
that question. Do I think that most women are bisexual? Is that what you're asking me?
Bisexual or bi-curious?
I think most, at least in my generation, I think a lot of women have thought about experimenting or have. In my generation, at least.
So
the guy slapped the butt.
So my point is this, right? Why don't we treat these women? We can agree that women engage on
almost had a conversation.
We agree that women engage way more in homosexual behavior than men. We know
that you and Mott are probably more closely aligned on this subject than I am.
Yeah, but you agree with me.
When did I say I agree with you?
You don't agree that women is more probable for a woman to be lesbian than a man gay?
What?
You don't agree that there's way more women fucking other
boy
women?
Gay worse than girl gay to you?
Yeah, you don't agree that there's way more probable that having woman fucking other woman than men fucking other men?
I don't agree. I don't agree with any of it, but I think that it can be more problematic from a societal perspective for men to do it. Absolutely.
That's a fact.
Yeah, but that was not the point, right? If I drop a woman on a basketball team, they start fucking each other. If I drop a woman on a college campus, they start fucking each other. If I drop a woman on every environment that there's a bunch of women, they literally start fucking each other. There's way more homosexual women than homosexual men. And you know what they get?
No, that's not true. That's not true.
It's not true?
I believe that there's more acceptance of women doing it than there are men, so that we can then justify it and say that it's okay, but it doesn't mean that it's more. So I think that today in 2025, because it has become more accepted for men to be fucking on men, that now you see it more prevalent. And that's the problem. And that goes back to the original conversation. The fact that we keep accepting and justifying it and making it seem like, oh yeah, this is okay to do. Now people are feeling more compelled to then put that same mindset and influence their children. And now they're starting to put it in our books. Now they're trying to let people use women's bathrooms that are biological men. Now you got men playing sports and fucking beating the fuck out of women in sports. Because we keep justifying and because we keep saying, oh, it's okay as long as you are in the person's life, or as long as you don't abandon them, or as long as you keep saying that it's okay and you're playing a role in their life, just because you're there, that's enough. It's not enough. And our standards are so fucking low that we think that just because you're there, that is enough. It's not enough. It's not. If you have a child, you have to do everything in your power to raise them in the admonition of God, in my personal opinion, because they did not ask to be here and they are going to be directly impacted by the decisions that you make on a daily basis. So you have a responsibility. It's not a privilege. It is a responsibility, because the bar is so low. The bar is in fucking hell. Now we got everybody saying that it's okay as long as you played the role because everybody else abandoned their kid. No, that's not normal. That's not normal. You basically create monsters. We got a bunch of little fucking monsters running around, and now they're starting to infiltrate our House, our Congress, our representatives. You got Sarah McBride up there sitting up there with makeup on and a whole fucking full force of hair, and they sitting up there with a dress on talking about policy. No, that's not the world that I want to live in, and that's not the thing that I stand for. And so for me personally, I think it is necessary to continue to fight on every front. On every front, we need to be fighting this shit, because it's a demon in the fucking air infecting people and taking over their minds. And now we got grown ass fucking 40 and 50-year-old men taking their sons to prom. That shit ain't normal. It ain't ever gonna be normal in my household. And I don't stand for that, bro. I don't stand for it at all. I don't know how y'all keep trying to justify it, but that ain't a manly thing. Ain't nothing manly about you taking your son to prom. Nothing. Ain't because you bone in your body supposed to say, you know what? That makes sense for me. Let me dress up in a suit in the same color as my son, having him look like my daughter, and then having him taking pictures in front of his mama so that we can go to prom. That shit is fucked up. And because people normalizing it, y'all got them putting the videos on the internet and not feeling shame no more. I'm not
just because you explain it doesn't mean you endorse it. And this is actually the art of moving the conversation. Nobody is telling that the dead and the woman and all that. What my point was is, y'all say you care about homosexuality, but these lesbian women have no repercussions. And Anton actually proved the point by saying,
they're not the same, Daddy.
No. Why are they? Well, 1 second.
It's
if you are
using
Q, if they are using Bible verses and Bible things, is there any place in the Bible that says that male homosexuality is worse than female homosexuality?
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know
and that's my point. No. That's the point.
You're comparing double standards on what society views
because they are using the Bible. It's not me. I'm not religious.
But those are two different points. We're not talking about double standards in
so
society.
Why don't you acknowledge my point?
Huh?
No, Camry. Anton just said there's more acceptance for women being homosexual.
Yes.
If y'all really have a problem with homosexuals because of the Bible and all that, why don't you have no smoke for lesbians?
Because the conversation was not about judging homosexuality as a whole. The conversation was on the father taking his trans presenting son to a prom. We're not talking about the same thing.